Your business needs help. 56.1 million employees are employed by small businesses in the United States, and 99% of all U.S. establishments are small businesses under 250 employees. That means that your business should be listening to the only podcast dedicated to small business success. That's Growth Success Radio, growthsuccessradio.com. Welcome to this week's episode of Growth Success Radio. Good morning and welcome to episode number 20 of Growth Success Radio, a live blabcast every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, co-hosted by myself and Eugene Resnitsky of Trigger Insurance. This is episode number 20, like I said. We're no longer teenagers, Eugene.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
We're
you
older.
can listen, and that's right, we're getting old. You can listen and watch past shows on growthsuccessradio.com. As I mentioned, to my, I don't know which direction it is on here. I'm going to say my left is Eugene Resnitsky. He is co-owner of Trigger Insurance. Tell us about that, Eugene. And there's Kari. Hi, Kari.
Hi, Scott.
How are
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear
I'm
you.
good.
good. Well,
How you doing?
hi, Kari. Trader Insurance, we are independent insurance agency. What that means, we are not owned or operated by any company. Our job is to almost act as a mortgage broker would. So we just care about finding the client the best solutions for the optimal price. My role within the agency is president of commercial lines. So I'm in charge of everything that has to do with commercial insurance. Ultimately, that's helping business owners protect against the what ifs in life.
Awesome. And I am Scott Gombar, owner of Scott Gombar, a digital marketing agency. And what I do is I help business clients or businesses find new clients using the internet. Those clients are looking for whatever service or product that business is offering, and I just help them connect each other using social media, Google, advertising, all of that good stuff. Eugene, any exciting updates in the insurance world before we get to your Super Bowl pick, the Dolphins?
Let me see if I heard about anything recently going on. I know there was something.
There's always something.
There's always something. Why don't you get back to me? You start with what's going on in social media because that usually takes a little longer.
That's going to probably take the whole show this week. So Facebook Live is available to everybody who has an iPhone now. So similar to Periscope, you can stream live from Facebook, but you have to have an iPhone. So us Android users are screwed for now if you wanted to use Facebook Live, and I'm sure it has, Facebook's little dig at Google there. But also Facebook is going after Google and Twitter again. Facebook is looking to do some of the same things that Twitter does and some of the same things that Google does. So the war continues. Facebook stock did go up, I think, like 13 or 14% yesterday. So it's interesting because Twitter stock has tumbled in recent weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe that stock has gone down so Google can buy it, but who knows? What else? Snapchat continues to take off. Instagram continues to take off. If people want to see what's going on visually, I guess. I don't know. That's my social media update for the day. So Eugene, back to you with insurance.
Great. So I just
still
started to look for interesting articles, and apparently there's a drunk driving case out of New York that they might be making into a TV type show like Law and Order because it's so involved. So I think of it as making a murder. They're kind of doing something similar with this case, and they're trying to sell it as a TV show. So that should be interesting to see what happens down the road. I'll keep tabs on it because that would be interesting.
You really can make a TV show just about anything these days.
Well, I'm hoping we get a TV show.
That's right. We should have a TV show. We'll talk more about that off the air, but we should have a TV show. I agree. With us today is Carrie ONeill of Merrill Lynch, and I will let Carrie introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me, Scott and Eugene. And I think you had me on because I'm a financial advisor, a certified financial planner with Merrill Lynch in New Haven. I've been with Merrill Lynch for about 5.5 years and in the financial services industry for, I think, maybe 16 or 17 years now. I've had a long history of different companies, starting out in insurance when I was just graduated from school. But then after I had my kids, I started working with financial services. I really wanted to get into helping people with their finances and also helping people understand the market. So throughout the course of my career, I had the pleasure of working at a couple great firms, but they were boutique firms. And so they didn't really offer the kind of fast-paced environment I was looking for and all of the resources that I could offer my clients. So that's when I found Merrill, and I've been really happy to be there. It's been such a great change in my career, and I'm able to help people in ways that I never really could at some of the other firms I was at. So that's where I am now.
So help us understand, because we always have a list of questions we're going to ask, and the question here is, tell us about the Meyer ONeill Group. So you work for Merrill Lynch, but you're also a business owner, right?
Sure. Most financial advisors, although they work for a specific firm, they really are the manager of their own practice. Their clients typically only know them, and they are the hub for the client. So we really run our own businesses. About 3 years ago, I started working with a woman by the name of Betsy Hartmeyer. She's been with Merrill Lynch for about 24 years. And she was looking to partner with somebody, and I was lucky enough to be that person. And so now we've been working together and continuing to grow our book. We manage about $300 million in assets for individual clients and families. And aside from that, we also manage a $300 million stock option plan for a publicly traded company. So we really have our practice split, and we'd like to continue to grow it in that same split fashion, just for a little bit of diversity. But we've got a lot going on. We are continuing to grow at a fast pace, and we're just really excited for the future.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you on.
Yes.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks.
Carrie, how, when, and why did you get into the whole financial advising world?
Yeah, initially it was just, I knew I wanted to be in finance since I was very young, and I got my degree in finance, and but just wasn't sure which piece of the practice I wanted to be in. And so after I had my kids, my husband really pushed me to look into the world of financial services and advising people on their investments. And so I did get started at an accounting firm in East Haven, which was great. I got licensed there and was able to really get to know the ins and outs of financial services. From there, I moved to another boutique firm in the Connecticut River area, and great experience, but I felt that I could be doing a lot more on my own. And so I then took the initiative to move to Merrill Lynch. Most important to me was being able to get my CFP. And that was really available to me when I moved to Merrill because they had a program where I could go through and start the process of getting it. And from there, I just continued to get those classes taken care of. For most financial advisors, they don't have their CFP designation. And what that means is that they're coming out of school or they're getting started in a new career and they take their license exams and they're able to help just about anybody. But what the CFP does is it allows you to get more education, experience, go through rigorous ethic standards, and really tough exam. And once you pass that and once you get over all those hurdles, you now have extensive knowledge of what anybody would need in order to create a financial plan. So that was very important to me. That's why I chose Merrill. And that's why I love what I do. It's because I really like to help people in a field that's extremely complicated and not always transparent. I hope that helps.
I'm noticing a theme. You like to help people. You've said that a few times now.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's what we like. Eugene likes to help people. I like to help people. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Before I ask the next question, just want to remind we have a few people watching. If you guys wouldn't mind tweeting it out or posting it to Facebook or, I don't know, emailing it to some friends, whatever, to help us get some more people in here. And if you have questions, feel free to ask the questions. And if one of us can answer that question, we will be happy to answer it. So, Kari, tell us about the process you take your clients through to help them better their financial understanding. And
Yep. So let's talk a little bit about why somebody would come to me. So if you find yourself and you're not really sure where to start in terms of managing your finances, it would be great if you got in touch with me. You don't have time to do your own financial planning. So you're maybe an executive or somebody who's running your own business, and it's just very difficult to find the time to even try and set something like that up. You would want to contact me. If you want a professional opinion about something you've already maybe started, or you don't have the expertise to understand all the ins and outs of maybe a retirement plan or the investments you have to pick from. So when clients come to me, they really are in one of these areas where they need some professional assistance. What I would first ask them to do is to gather all their statements and financial documents. Some of them I won't be able to help with, but I still need all of it so I can make a wholesome assessment of where they are in their financial lives. So really, I just get to know them at first. These are your finances. These are the statements we're working with now. And most importantly, what's been your past experience? Because usually people that are either just getting started or they have an existing plan, have some sort of experience in the past that they've either been burned or they feel they were very successful at. So I want to know about those things and what they feel comfortable in, because their comfort level is really what I'm trying to achieve. So once we get through experience, we get into goals. We really want to understand what the client's goals are and build a plan around what they're trying to achieve. Are you trying to build a child's college plan? Are you trying to retire when you're 55 and maybe start another career? Do you want to have a second home for your family to vacation at when you are 65? So these are types of things that we try and establish at the onset. And then from there, we really try and propose an investment plan that is very specific to their goal. And by doing that, we establish a starting point and we're able to check back in on that goal every single year. So it's really about understanding the client, understanding their goals, creating a plan, and making sure that that plan is working and we're on track for the future.
Sounds involved.
I thought I tried to make it sound simple.
No, it is. I know sometimes it could be a longer process. You know, it's not just one appointment meeting. It's multiple meetings with the client.
Absolutely. It can take anywhere from a month to 18 months to really get a client started. And that can be any number of reasons. It could be that we are limited in what we can move from one institution to another. It could be that we need to stay in an investment for a specific period of time. It could be that they really don't need to do anything for another couple of years. So the process that I have with clients is very long, and the idea is to have clients for their lifetime, and really use me as they move through life and different events are starting to unfold.
Right. So, Kari, what types of marketing do you use, and is social media part of your marketing plan?
It's a small part. I'm sorry, Scott, but I'm not that social media savvy, and I think I'm on the younger side in terms of being a business owner. So, but I never was involved in Facebook or anything like that. So I typically market face to face, and that's something I started in my first year at Merrill. I wanted to be able to network and do it on a more consistent basis, because I think having your face in front of people in the community is a really great way to earn their trust and support. So initially, when I first started, I wanted to start a BNI group in New Haven. And so I worked with a few other individuals that wanted to get one started, and I was able to start the group in New Haven now, the Elm City BNI, which has been absolutely essential in terms of me being able to grow my business from the ground up. So that is in-your-face marketing. Every week we're meeting to try and help each other with their businesses, and I've gotten many referrals and clients from that process. So social media is really limited for me to LinkedIn, and I'll use LinkedIn throughout the day to see who my clients might be connected to, see who my colleagues might be connected to, or my immediate network. And I can use that to really get a deeper dive into the companies that I want to penetrate and meet maybe their human resources individuals. But I try and use LinkedIn to be a little bit more focused in my marketing. But for the most part, we have our website, we have word of mouth, and we have our circle of influence, which would be accounting firms. I'm always open to meeting accountants and also estate planning attorneys.
I never heard of this Elm City BNI. What is that?
It's a cult.
And I like that. I like that in-your-face marketing. I like that.
It is. I mean, you can't deny somebody who's right there in front of you telling you what they need. And it's just a great way to connect.
No, that's awesome. That might be a title of a book for me. I don't know. I'll give you credit.
I hope I get something from it. Okay, good. Right. Yeah, credit. Or money.
Give me royalties. Come on, Scott.
Some royalties? Well, of all three books that'll get sold, two of them will be my wife.
Every little bit.
I'll buy one.
Oh, yeah? There we go. Now I sold 4. I don't even know who the third one is.
Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Joe and have him put it into the budget to buy your book. So everybody in BNI gets one of your books.
Yeah.
Oh, that works for me.
See?
Yeah. Then so the next invoice that goes out, an extra $10 or something. That works.
We got 50 books sold.
So, Kari, who is your ideal client? I'm big on finding your ideal client. So who is your ideal client?
It's really somebody who has been able to save and has been very successful at accumulating, but really is stuck in terms of how they should invest. The market's just a very difficult place right now. So someone who has accumulated wealth, but really is unsure of how to proceed and has a very specific goal in mind. So that's somebody that would be great for me. Typically, these are couples or individuals who are in their 50s or anywhere up through retirement, and also businesses that are looking to work on their 401k, whether they have established one or they need assistance in getting one started. Those are great clients for me.
Right. So how soon do you recommend somebody start creating a financial plan or working with a financial advisor like yourself?
Yeah, it can really happen at any time. There's really nobody who can come to me and ask for help that I can't help at any point in their life. So I think when you're in college is a point where you're faced with a couple of difficult decisions. One is, whether to get a credit card. One is how much do you take in student loans? How do you actually start getting out on your own and creating a budget? So these are things I'd be happy to help somebody with. It's not really great in terms of investments, but anybody can start working on their finances. I wish that when I was younger, even in high school, we had something that could teach us about our finances. And it's really in those younger years when you make the most important decisions that affect you for the next 20. So the sooner you can get started in making those decisions that are educated and based on future goals, the better you'll be.
Yeah, I agree. I've always said that our educational system does nothing to provide any type of financial education training, even how to balance a checkbook. It's like you do like what, third grade and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no college courses that really go into deep detail about financial planning. I think maybe now they're starting, but when I was in school, there was nothing.
There was nothing, and it's a real shame because I think a lot of the financial crisis was around people getting into homes that were too large for them. The payments were too much. They weren't prepared in case of an emergency. And one of the first things we do as a financial planner is to establish an emergency fund. You really cannot get started with investing or saving until you have some set of assets that is meant for emergency. So even just some of those simple ideas are not communicated to us when we're younger. And I think parents can do a lot at home early because it's not going to be done by anybody else. So.
Yeah, Eugene stole the words right out of my mouth. That's true. And I don't think they do even today, Eugene. They don't teach even how to balance a checkbook. Not that people use checks much anymore, but they don't teach any of that in school at all, and they really need to.
Yeah, and they don't even do any basic type stuff or just finance 101. Finance 101 in college was all about stock market and creating, portfolios and analyzing a stock, standard deviation type stuff. It was nothing about actual real life finance.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw 5 people's heads go. You started talking about standard deviation.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's very true, but Kari makes a good point. It starts at home, really, and I always say that education starts at home. You can't hold the school system responsible either, but yes, they should teach it in schools. Anyway, that's a whole different topic. We actually do have a teacher on the plan schedule. He's not actually scheduled yet, but we do have a teacher that's supposed to come on, so we'll get on his case about it.
We should have a superintendent. That's what we should have. It should be really interesting.
Yeah. Do you know one? Maybe it begins with the letter B.
No, but I might know the New Haven one, so I'll work on that.
You don't know the Meriden one, really?
I do.
Anyway,
I don't know him.
Well, he's kind of active on Facebook, So Kari, back to you.
Yeah.
The spotlight is on Kari, Eugene. Stop it. People hear that you can invest in a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA. Can you briefly describe the differences between them? And is there a maximum that someone can invest? I can't talk this morning. Can invest into them. And
yes.
I believe that just changed, right?
No, it didn't for 2016. So okay. The limit stayed the same as 2015. But basically speaking, if you have earned income in any tax year, you should be able to contribute to a traditional IRA and deduct up to $5,500. You can contribute up to $55,000 and deduct it from your taxable income. If you're over age 50, you can contribute $6,500, so they give you that extra $1,000 bump. And so what that means is that if you earned $50,000 in a given year and you made a $5,500 contribution to your IRA, then the IRS would only be taxing you on that remaining $44,500. So it really helps in terms of when you're thinking about your tax bracket and maybe getting into a lower one or bumping yourself into a higher one with your income, you might want to consider making a contribution to your IRA. Alternatively, you could also make a contribution to a Roth. You can do both. If you make under a certain income, for individuals, it's about $117,000 would be the income limit for making a Roth contribution. The contribution limits are the same, so they're also $5,500 for individuals and $6,500 for those over 50. But instead of making the contribution pre-tax, you are already taxed on that $5,500 when it goes in. So if you make $50,000 and you make a $5,500 contribution to the Roth, you're still taxed on the $50,000 by the IRS that year. But the advantage is that that $5,500 goes on to grow tax deferred. And if you own it for more than 5 years and you take the money out after 59 and a half, it's absolutely tax-free. So if that $5,500 is now worth $25,000 when you retire, that whole gain is tax-free and in your pocket. So that's a huge advantage for individuals when they're doing their retirement planning. So again, you can make contributions to both in a given year as long as your income is under the 117 as an individual. But if you're trying to decide whether to make a contribution into either, my suggestion is to look at your current tax bracket. And if you feel that you're in a low enough tax bracket now to make a Roth contribution, because again, you're taxed now at a lower tax bracket, and then those assets will continue to grow tax deferred. So that's really the basics. And then if you just kind of transfer that over to your 401k, when an employer offers a plan, you should now have the option of contributing to either the traditional 401k or Roth. So you also have those in an employer plan. Did you follow that? Is there any questions on that?
I followed it, Eugene. Eugene was distracted by something. He suffers he suffers from wow, I really can't talk today. Shiny object syndrome.
You can't talk. No, my phone kept ringing, so I had to silence it.
Oh, and now your phone's vibrating. I can hear it.
That's my other phone. That's my work phone. That's my cell phone. I got too many phones.
That's right. Too many phones. No, I followed it. I don't know if everybody in the audience did, but if you guys do have specific questions, not related to your specific situation, because Kari cannot address those online, feel free. We're going to give her information out at the end of the show. She'll give it to you. But if you have a general question, feel free to ask it. If you want an explanation again, feel free to ask it. But I got it. Eugene, you good?
I got it.
Good.
Got it.
Now, as business owners, they can create different types of plans for their employees if they want to help their employees out for retirement. So some of the ones they can help are SEP, simple IRAs, and a 401k. Can you also go over the benefits of all three, and talk about them a little bit?
Sure. So yeah, the employer has the ability to make contributions or set up a plan for their employees. This helps them for tax reasons. This helps them retain employees. And so when you're trying to keep an employee at your firm, you might want to offer a benefit like this so they have something to contribute to and then potentially match. So that's typically why employers will get into the practice of opening a retirement plan. The first one is a SEP IRA, and similar to other IRAs, the assets go in, they're tax deductible, and then they grow tax deferred. And so when the employer is setting this plan up, it's important that they know that there's a specific amount of employees in the group that they are offering this to. There are limitations around who can get the benefit. The employer is the only one to make a contribution to a SEP IRA. And so the employee is not able to make contributions into the SEP IRA directly. They can go into one of those other vehicles that I just discussed, the traditional or the Roth, but the SEP IRA is specifically for employer contributions. They can either contribute the lesser of $53,000 for 2016, or they have the option of 25% of employee compensation or 20% of what we call self-employment net earnings. And that's really something that the accountant works with them on at the end of the year in terms of their own earnings from their self-employment. So it is something mostly that self-employed persons use, and it's usually for a very small company with just a few employees, and they don't mind making the contribution for them. The simple IRA is certainly probably the easiest to set up in terms of an employer plan with employee contributions, and it also is pretty inexpensive. The employee has the ability to contribute $12,500 for 2016, and after age 50, they can contribute $15,500. Now, the employer has a couple different options to contribute. So if the employee has decided to participate, because they also have the ability to decline participation, but if they have participated, the employer can contribute 3% of a match. So they'll match dollar for dollar of that contribution up until 3%. They also have the option of contributing just a flat 2% to each employee, regardless of whether they're contributing or not. And so this is great for employers that really don't know what kind of participation they're going to have, and can blanket a 2% and know what the expense is going in. And another nice advantage of this plan is that they can decide every year how they want to make their employer match, whether it's the voluntary or the, for the voluntary participants or for the flat rate. And finally, the 401k. The 401k is for medium to large companies that would like to offer a more comprehensive retirement plan for their employees. The contributions for 2016 are $18,000 for those under 50 and $24,000 for those 50 and over. They have the ability to just offer the plan and not offer any type of match, but then they're limited on who's participating in the plan. So there's a lot of testing around those that are highly compensated being the only ones that are contributing to the plan. So you have to be careful. But what I would suggest is getting together with a financial advisor and providing your census information for your company and determining what type of plan might be best suited for you, and whether it might be advantageous to offer a match when you're opening a 401k for testing purposes. And those are the three types of employer plans. So first step would be to gather all your census information for your employees. Don't have to include names, but really we're looking for what they're making and their ages and their ownership of the company and whether they need to do a match or not. That's it.
So
That's it, she says.
That's it. Well, it's a lot. Sounds more involved than people are just saying, oh, I'm just going to start a 401k for my people, because sometimes that might not be the best option for the business owner. It really involves more background work to figure out which option is best for the business owner based on, the business owner's goals.
Absolutely. It's not set in stone what's going to work for each employer and employee. If you don't anticipate any participation, then, one of these plans is obviously not going to work. So you really need to kind of gather an idea of what the participation will be, what everyone makes, and how you want to administer the plan. Certainly expense is a big issue with small employers. So we want to keep expenses as low as possible in the plan also.
Nice. So,
you get all that stuff?
Yeah, I got it. I wrote it. I was writing it down. Did you, actually, I can meet, see the advantage is I can meet with Kari, you know,
True.
she's only, her office is only 20 minutes away from me. So I think it's only 19 minutes away from you though.
Correct.
So we noticed, and we all love acronyms. I'm a CGO, CFO, CEO, I don't know. Anyway, we noticed that you have the letters CFP after your name, especially if you go to LinkedIn, I believe, right? What does that mean?
It stands for Certified Financial Planner. It's a designation awarded by the Board of Certified Financial Planners, the CFP board. And it allows us to use that designation after our name if we've completed what we call the 4 E's. So that's a series of qualifications that we have to meet before they'll award that designation. So one of those is education, and that's quite a few classes and examinations that we had to take prior to even sitting for the exam. So it was about 6 courses and 6 examinations that we needed to take just to sit. We also have to have been in the financial services practice for about 5 years. I don't know if that's changed since I got my CFP, but it was at the time 5 years. We also need to abide by a certain level of ethics and standards. So aside from Merrill Lynch and all of the compliance that we do with Merrill, they also have their own set of standards and ethics that we need to follow. And then beyond that, we sit for a very lengthy 2-day exam, and we need to pass that. The pass rate is very low. But once we complete that, we are so happy to have our CFP. And what it means for the consumer or for the client is that they're working with somebody who has gone through rigorous education in order to get this designation, far more than the typical financial advisor. So they can rest assured that they are getting the best possible information and knowledge from the person that they're working with. So I'm really very happy to have it.
Okay. Is there any continuing education requirements to keep it up to date? So it's not, is it just a one-time, you pass the test and you're done learning?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have to complete many hours of continuing education over a 2-year time period. So I think it's about 24 or 30 hours of continuing education every 2 years. And we also need to complete an ethics course. So that ethics course is also part of that requalification to make sure that each one of the CFPs is understanding of changes that are happening in the industry and also changes around ethics and fiduciary responsibility. So.
Right. Right. So, what is one, or not one, just some questions that somebody should ask when they're going out looking for a financial advisor?
Yeah, these are great questions. The first thing yeah, great job, Eugene.
Thank you.
The first thing I would ask is, are they a certified financial planner, right? I mean, that's something that it exists out there. Why not go to the one that has the most knowledge and the most up-to-date information on the industry? So, and the one that can help you with most aspects of your financial planning. I'm not just a one-stop shop for one thing. We do everything. The courses that the CFP takes are related to the general planning, taxes, insurance, investments, estate planning, retirement. So we really run the spectrum of what we're knowledgeable about. So first thing you should ask is if they're a CFP, how many years they've been in the practice, whether they've had any, bad experiences, possibly on their record, and also how they get paid, I think is probably a really important piece. The transparency in our industry is so difficult for clients to understand. A lot of times they're paying fees that they don't know about. And so I've made it a real focus of our practice to help our clients understand that this is the fee you're paying for our service and investments, and that's it. It's very straightforward, and we try and build our practice around that kind of transparency. So you can have a couple of different kinds of fee structures. You can have a CFP that only does financial planning, and they'll pay or they'll have you pay for a fee for the plan, and they don't have any financial products behind them. And then you can work with somebody who is what they have are commissions and fees related to their investments. So every client I work with really has a different preference, and it's important that we just communicate what's available, what their options are, and let them pick what's the best scenario for them based on their investments and their asset level. Other questions that they can ask are if they have a particular process that they use. I've gone over my process at the beginning of this, but everybody might have a little bit of a different process, so you want to help yourself by understanding what that process is and get your expectations in line for the relationship. And also if they have proprietary products. So at Merrill, I'm a broker. I can work with really any mutual fund company, any insurance company out there. You want to know if the financial advisor you're working with is only able to work with a certain one, mutual fund product or one insurance company, because it can be limiting in what's out there in terms of what the best solution is for you. So I think I would start there.
All right. So
Okay with that answer, Eugene?
We ran out of actual written questions. It kind of went faster than I thought, which is good.
Oh, am I talking too fast?
No.
Actually, but I'm going to throw in a question in a few minutes. I think we all know what it is, but we're going to throw in a question in a few minutes. Eugene,
I don't know what it is.
No, it won't come as a surprise. I'll just say that. You want to start the fire round, Eugene? You ready for this one?
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
So I'm adding a fifth question to this, Eugene.
I like it.
But it's for all of us.
Okay.
All right.
So what is your
favorite
all-time favorite movie?
I get asked this all the time. All-time favorite movie, probably Life is Beautiful, or It's a Wonderful Life. Both of those I really like.
Wow, old school at heart. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting that, but
no, not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought The Wedding Planner or something?
Yeah. The Big Short, something like that.
Oh no. We're talking about entertainment.
Wait. Boiler Room. That's it. Yes.
No.
Wolf of Wall Street, something along those lines.
Wolf of Wall. Yes.
No, see, I like to help people. Remember?
All right. How about Pursuit of Happiness? That one is.
Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, I do like that movie. Yeah.
All right. Favorite activity outside of work?
Oh, I really like. I guess I like being on the soccer field with my kids. It's what we do. I have 4 kids, and so we just spend a lot of time on the field. So I have to say that because it's all I do. But I like to watch movies. That's a favorite pastime.
So you're a soccer mom, and that seems to be a common theme in our BNI. 4 kids.
I know, isn't that strange?
A lot of people
have 4. I have 4. Bob has 4. Joe has 4. But you cheated your way to 4, so we're not gonna.
Cheated? I think I earned something. With that.
Some say cheated. Some say earned.
Yeah, that's earning it. Trust me.
All right. So currently, what is your favorite song?
Currently, favorite song. Hold on, let me think about this. I know some of these are embarrassing currently. Like pop songs or
anything. Just if it's Lil Wayne, keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my favorite song.
So you mix a lot.
No. My husband's throwing things out here. Can you come back to me on that one?
Okay.
Come on.
Oh wow.
There's too
All
many.
right.
I'm a huge music fan. There's too many.
All right, well,
Why don't you narrow it down to like,
We're gonna go with the Sir Mix-a-Lot suggestion. Actually,
Oh, did you hear that?
we did. Did you ever see the Sir Mix-a-Lot with the Seattle Symphony Orchestra?
No, I didn't.
There's a video floating around on the internet of Sir Mix-a-Lot with the Seattle Symphony Orchestra. It's pretty awesome, actually.
I'm
You
gonna
gotta
have to
check
go
that
look
out.
that up.
Yeah,
Did it have
Google
background dancers or?
Well, some of the people in the audience came up on the stage, so it's interesting for sure. Eugene's gonna Google it too. Look at him. He's like, I gotta find this.
well, my internet was messing up, so I misheard everything.
Well, you're not supposed to look for it now. That's why it messed up. See. All right. So the fifth and final question. Eugene's not exactly aware of it, but it probably won't come as a surprise to him. So as of right now, the point spread is 5 in favor of Carolina.
Jeez.
Who's gonna win the Super Bowl with the spread? We'll start with Kari.
I have to pull Manning. I have to go with Manning because he's a family favorite. So I'm going to go with the Broncos. Even though I heard this morning that the city with the most buffalo wing sales is the one to win the Super Bowl typically, and so that would be Carolina. But I'm going with the Broncos.
I've never heard that one before. That's
Yeah, it's
interesting.
just this morning. It's brand new information.
It's like Jimmy Fallon when he does with his puppies to choose the winner, and he's been right a lot of the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he lets off puppies, and which direction they go to is the Super Bowl winner for the last couple times.
So we know what Eugene does at night now.
Yes.
And there was an octopus that would decide who won the World Cup. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that one either.
Okay.
You guys have some strange habits here for sports.
I
don't
have
know.
something called a wife takeover, so I have to watch what she wants to watch.
Even on the Super Bowl?
No, I'm talking about nighttime. So.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, all right. So Eugene, your pick with the spread.
Carolina.
Okay. Any insight into that?
They just literally destroyed Seattle and Arizona on their way, and now they're playing Peyton Manning, who can't even throw. So if they shut down the running game on offense, that's it. Because all you have to do is make Peyton Manning throw now, and he can't throw. And Demaryius Thomas can't catch. So
No, yeah. What happened to that guy? Jeez.
Manny Butterfield.
Yes. So if you go, so Kari, you used your heart in this a little bit, and you can't do that with sports. But yeah, I agree. I would love to see Peyton Manning go out on top because I think he's done. He looked terrible after they played New England. He just looks tired, and I agree with Eugene. I think Carolina's going to run all over them. You can't. That team just looks too good.
What would have happened if you went with your heart at the New England game? No, I would have won.
If you look at statistically, you would have seen New England didn't have a chance. New England's never won a playoff game at Denver.
Oh, okay.
And they've also never won a playoff game when what's his name, Ed Hockley or whatever his name is, was the ref, the official. So a playoff game. So if you look at stats, they weren't going to win, although they came pretty close.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, you must be a
We'll
Patriots.
see.
You must be a Patriots fan, huh?
No, we're actually Giants fans. I have a lot of family that are Patriots fans, but I have a lot of Manning fans too. So we're more Giants fans, I think, here. Yeah, but we're New Orleans fans in my family, so we have a big Manning love.
Nothing wrong with that. I just don't think he has it in him.
We can't fault you there for having a indirect relationship with the Manning family.
Yes.
Do you get free Papa John's or?
I don't think so. Not yet.
No, we got to work on that.
Yeah.
We still didn't get your favorite song though.
Oh shoot.
You thought we were going to forget, didn't you?
Should we ask your husband?
Yeah, let's ask him. What's my favorite song?
Her favorite, I'll give you a hint. Her favorite movie is Straight Outta Compton.
tell you who I love.
Probably Otis Redding.
Oh yeah.
These Arms of Mine.
Yeah, the Otis Redding, These Arms of Mine. That's probably my favorite song. You know Otis Redding?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on the dock of the bay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was that a
He's,
wedding song for you?
No. we got married. We eloped. So we didn't have a wedding song really, but no, I love Otis Redding. It's a track from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack, which is a good movie.
Alrighty then. Now we're going into Patrick Swayze territory, but all right. Kari, how do people find you?
Probably the easiest way is to email me, and I can give you my email address if you want.
Okay. What is it?
It's Carrie, Carrie, .ONeill, ONEIL, @ml.com.
Alrighty. So if anybody has specific financial planning questions, reach out to Kari. That's her email, Carrie.ONeill@ml.com. I typed it in the chat. Do you have a website that they can go to?
We do. Maybe you could type that in. It's www.ml.com, or excuse me, it's FA. It's financial advisor, FA.ml.com,
Mm-hmm.
and / Meyer O'Neill. That's HARTMAYERONEIL. They can always go to ml.com and do a advisor search and type in my name in New Haven.
Yes, so you're located in New Haven County in Connecticut. Now, are you limited to Connecticut, or you can work with anybody anywhere?
I can work with anybody anywhere in the country. I'm licensed in many states, but if you live in a state where I happen to not be licensed, I would just go ahead and get the license there. But I can work anywhere in the country and sometimes internationally. A lot of my clients are in California, and it's no problem to communicate with them on the phone or via web service. So not an issue if you live somewhere else.
Awesome. So you're using technology. We like that here.
I do use technology, yes.
We like that here. So, Kari, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. I know it was kind of short notice. We've had some last-minute cancellations in the last few weeks and some technical difficulties with other guests in the last few weeks. Speaking of which, next week we will attempt to talk to Wayne English again about content marketing, how you should develop content for your site, for your blog, and so forth, and what it means to your business. That'll be next Friday, 10 a.m. The following Friday, Eugene, who's the following Friday?
I gotta get the name. Let me find out the name.
You sent it to me, but so we do have the next couple of Fridays lined up, and next week we will not know who was right about the Super Bowl pick. It will be the following week.
It's going to be on the 12th. It's going to be Abdul Maklad. He's a personal trainer.
Oh, a personal trainer. That's right. So we're going to talk about growing that business, and that's a tough business to grow too.
Yes.
So I love the personal trainers that look like me. It's awesome. You're overweight, and I'm going to listen to how you get in shape. Okay. Anyway, that's a different topic.
Yes.
So thank you again, Kari. If you want to watch this should be up on growthsuccessradio.com later today. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Google Play. I don't know if they launched yet, but if they did, we're on there already. And we appreciate you coming on, Kari. And Eugene, you're going to do some hip-hop yoga today? What are you doing today?
I think I'm taking a break off today.
You're taking a break? Okay.
But tomorrow I'll probably do, I think I'm going to do Tour de Meriden cycling tomorrow. I think that's going to be my workout.
Oh, yeah? It's supposed to be like 50 degrees this weekend. Go for it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm still on one foot, so I'm not doing any of that yet. Until next week, everyone, thank you. I'm going to end the show.
Thanks, guys.